Hello everyone, and I welcome all of you to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. So friends, today we have a special guest with us. So her name is Ridha, and she has got selected in Accolite for a package of 5 lakhs per annum, and another company which is Landmark Group for a package of 7 lakhs per annum. So before we proceed further, so congratulations Ridha.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now we get into more deep of your how did you apply for the jobs and the written and the interview experiences. Before that, we wanted to know a bit about yourself.
Okay. So hello everyone. I'm Ridha. I'm currently in my final year and just finished my sixth semester. And to tell more about myself, I would say I have a GPA of 8.9, and I'm passionate about computer science, and I know how to apply the classical strategies which I've learned in my undergraduate to modern day projects. I have a very good reputation for projects in my college, and yeah, my hobbies include traveling and listening to music and cooking.
Okay,
That's
great.
about myself.
Okay, so we'll start with your first company, Ecolite, and then we will move to Landmark. So how did you apply
Sure.
for the Ecolite, and what was the written round? How difficult it was, and then how was your interview experiences? So the complete floor is yours. So yeah, you can
Yeah,
start now.
sure. So first, the first company which I applied was Accolite,
Mhm,
and this was pan India based. The first round was basically pan India.
mhm,
It was only for it was based on she codes hackathon kind of a thing.
mhm.
So in that we were given a few one coding question, and few like give the output of the following
Okay,
and all
output
that.
based questions.
Yeah, aptitude and earth, everything basically.
Okay.
All your basic Java concepts and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Okay.
So once you clear that round, you will have another coding round. And in the coding round, they particularly very much focused. Accolade is very focusing on basically your trees, graphs, and data structures. Your trees and graphs, I cannot stress any much on that. They're going to just keep asking graphs and trees.
Mhm,
So we had one coding question for around 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We were supposed to code that question.
mhm.
And you had to select the language you wanted to use beforehand itself. So I had taken C++. So yeah, I was able to code the question. And then if you were able to pass all the test cases, there was another technical interview round.
Mhm,
So I was able to pass all the test cases, and I was shortlisted for the technical interview.
mhm,
So there were two technical interview rounds here in Acolyte. So
mhm,
the first technical interview round was also for almost 1 hour 45 minutes.
mhm,
So yeah, it was quite lengthy. Uh, he started off with asking, introduce yourself.
mhm,
What kind of projects have you done? And he asked me to explain my project. And I had an internship going on, so
mhm,
he asked me what my role in the internship is, what I'm doing there,
mhm,
and stuff like that.
mhm,
Then later he jumped to object-oriented concepts.
mhm,
That's very important. So he asked me all about polymorphism, data hiding, encapsulation, and stuff. Then in Acolyte, we were supposed to code live. So he asked me a few coding questions as well. He asked me, it's the first round, he asked me to create a class, and it was simple. Yeah, we had to create a class
mhm,
and then declare student data and there, like
mhm,
for marks and stuff like that, name, USN, and that,
mhm.
and try to access that outside the class. And then
Yeah.
the data members are private, and how you access it's basic.
Mhm,
He asked me that,
mhm.
and he asked me how I would encapsulate your object oriented programming is what he was testing there.
Okay.
And then he jumped to trees because
Mhm,
Acolyte loves trees and graph.
mhm,
So and linked lists also.
mhm,
So yeah, he jumped to trees, and then he asked me to like what are the different types of tree traversals,
mhm,
and you had to know all kind of traversal, pre-order, post-order, and all the traversals.
mhm,
Level order, he asked me to code level order traversal.
Mhm.
I was able to code level order traversal. And then he jumped to linked lists.
Mhm.
In the linked list, he asked me if there is a loop that exists in the linked list, how would you find out there's a there's a loop?
Mhm.
So I told him that create a, linear loop, and if the the address of the next node already exists, then tell that there's a loop. So he told that is going to take a lot of time. So think of a better approach. So then I told him about the slow and fast pointer. Then he asked me to code that. That's why it took a long time.
Okay.
He helped me. It was more of a conversation. He helped me how to do it.
Mhm.
And then that's how my first round concluded.
Mhm.
And the next round again was the next day. It was not on the same day.
Mhm.
Few of them had it on the same day, but mine was on the next day.
Mhm.
So in the second technical interview round, they asked me more about linked list, arrays, and graphs again. So he started with the introduction again.
Mhm.
He asked me what my interests are, all about. In this round, he asked me more on software development skills also.
Mhm.
What is SDLC? What is garbage collection? All the software stuff as well. He asked me what a deadlock is, semaphore is. Would you be able to code for a deadlock scenario?
Mhm.
He asked me questions like that. And
Mhm.
then here again, he asked me two coding questions to be coded. You had to code with the online editor they give, or you prefer to choose anything.
Mhm.
You just take up one editor online and then you start coding. So there he asked me to code a level order traversal in reversal, like
Okay.
level order traversal, but it should be reversed kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And then he asked me to spiral traverse the tree.
Okay.
And that's how I was able to code both of it. And then he asked me an array question. In the array, he gave me a random array with the ones and zeros.
Mhm.
He asked me to put all the ones to the starting and all the zeros to the ending.
Mhm.
So that was easier, and I could do that. That's how the second round went. And the last one was the HR interview round. The HR interview round was basic, introduce yourself, explain a
Simple
project to her.
conversation. Mhm.
And then that's it. What you would like to, know about the company. I just asked them what can I expect from Accolite and stuff like that. It was a conversation.
Mhm.
And then she started talking about the bonds and stuff like that. And later, after a week or so, we got our results for Accolite. And yeah, I was happy then.
Okay, so basically, if I want to summarize, like for Equalite, so you had applied through the C code, and there are a lot of hackathon, it's going on, and we always tell a student using our recruitment videos and all, because like many times we see like it might be difficult, and we don't go and apply itself, and that's where we miss the opportunity. So after you applied through the hackathon, so you had like 2 rounds of the coding one, and then 2 rounds of the technical interview and one HR interview. And basically, as you said, so you had, I mean, they had asked a lot of questions from trees, graph. So you can say data structure and algorithm, and the OOPS concepts. So basically, that were the major things for the Equalite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And now your second company is Landmark. So
Yeah.
Landmark is definitely having higher package. So I thought to cover it in the next part. Okay. So yeah, so you can start with the Landmark. Like I think you had applied from your college only, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This as well, I had applied via the college.
Hmm.
So Landmark is basically a UAE-based company.
Okay.
It is more into a retail-based roles. So the role which was for Landmark is for a trainee data engineer.
Okay.
And in Landmark, we had 3 rounds.
Hmm.
The first round was again aptitude and all your basic computer science knowledge round. So
Hmm.
all the outputs and a little of cloud computing, a little of database, and aptitude, general aptitude math questions.
Okay.
that was not very hard. It
Mhm,
wasn't very easy either, but
mhm,
yeah, that went well.
mhm.
And then the second round, once we get shortlisted for the first round, the second round was a group discussion round.
Okay.
In the group discussion round, there is one panelist, one member in the panel.
Mhm,
So he gave us a scenario. Like the scenario basically was, is work from home ideal for the employee or for the company, which is more productive?
mhm,
So we were supposed to discuss on the topic,
mhm,
and here he saw a lot of a lot of views to be there.
mhm.
So he basically judged us on how we talk about the topic, how relevant we go, or how relevant we speak on the topic,
Mhm.
and how much we are trying to give other person also the opportunity to talk. And then when turn comes, we jot down the points of counterpoints of other whatever others say.
Mhm,
And it's not like you browse the internet and say something like that. You'll
mhm,
get easily caught.
mm.
So it's very
Okay.
important that you make points on what others say, and to counteract that, you need to make points,
True, true.
and that gives you more weightage. And yeah, the group discussion went for an hour or so. There wasn't a conclusion drawn,
Mhm.
but we were all there. Like, there were few people who opposed it, there were few people who were okay with work from home.
So just for
So
curiosity,
that's,
so what was your views? So work from home is like good
yeah,
for him.
for me, work from home is the ideal scenario. Because of the roles in an IT, there is not much of a office going role, right? So work from home is also productive. So you could just tell about how you're mentally not that stressed to go to office and then come out. Like, yeah, you just need to keep talking, and you should not break others while speaking. Like, if they're speaking,
True,
you
true,
should hold on to your point, and you should give them to complete and then speak.
true,
Yeah,
true.
and your communication skills are tested here. That's what happened in group discussion round, and how convincing you are also matters. That was how my group discussion round went. So we were there were 7 people in the group, and we got the results the same day.
Mhm.
Landmark, everything was on the same day itself. So
Okay.
9 a.m. all those technical rounds started,
Mhm.
and then was the group discussion round at 2 p.m. And then 7:30, I had my HR and technical interview. The same person took it.
Okay, okay.
So that the coming to the technical interview, that also went on for an hour or so.
Mhm.
And yeah, he asked me quite challenging questions in Landmark. So he asked me like, introduce yourself. That's
Mhm.
the basic question everyone asks.
Yes.
After that, he asked me my projects.
Mhm.
It's very, very important to have a resume very updated, and make sure you keep your resume relevant to the role you're applying for. There is no necessity of putting your data and your machine learning projects in a data engineer role and stuff like that.
True.
So you should always read the role and then apply. And yeah, so he asked me all about my projects. I had a project which was a UI based project. So the first, he asked me to design a product for a design. So I was all clueless what to do. So I just opened Paint and started it.
Mhm.
He asked me, he gave me a scenario like, if your recruiters come to college and they want more of customizations for them, they want a application or a website to all do all that. So he asked me how I would use these and what kind of test cases I will give. The recruiter should be able to like schedule meeting with the student he shortlists and stuff like that, instead of always going to the placement coordinator and then going to the student. He
Mhm.
wants a direct approach. That's what
Okay.
the scenario was.
Mhm.
That I designed it, and then he gave me a coding question. In the coding question, he gave me, if there is an array, and in the array you have numbers, and if any two consecutive number sum results to 5, then
Mhm.
I need to return the ith location of the some whatever, wherever that occurs, the consecutive number ith
Mhm.
location I had to return.
Mhm.
So I told him a linear based approach, like I will traverse the entire array. He wasn't convinced. Then I told him a hashing algorithm kind of a scenario. Then he told uh, try harder, and he wasn't convinced yet. Then I tried to give. I mean, it's very important that you keep trying and not give up. That's what they always say. Any recruiter, it's
Mhm.
very important that you keep trying than just say no, I don't know how to do it. So then I told him that I will use a window based approach. Every traversal, I will take only two numbers and then traverse a window method. I told him, then he told, yeah, okay, that will be good. So he asked me if I can code it. So I
Mhm.
coded it. And yeah, that's how technical interview went. He asked the basic general oops concept is a like must in every interview. So
True. True.
oops concepts and Java concepts. What is this pointer? What is the super key? All that basic Java questions. And then he itself asked me the HR interview. So in the HR interview, there were two aptitude questions he asked me.
Mhm.
So the first aptitude question was there's a drunk man. He moves two steps north. He
Mhm.
comes back one step south and moves left one step. He does this for 100 times. Where is the location of the man from the center? So I was literally blank. So I told him it's a 45-degree angle from the center. He wasn't convinced again. So yeah, I told him I will draw an arc and like all the points where he turns left, I'll draw a regression line, something like that. Then he told, I mean, he wasn't really convinced about it, but the best, you need to know that it's not that HR round is not, there's nothing right or wrong. You just need to keep trying to give answers. That's
True.
very important, I think. And then the second aptitude question he asked me was there is, he gave me the number four times.
Mhm.
You have four, 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 four.
Mhm.
And using that, we had to give the highest number. So I had to give the highest number. You can use any arithmetic or logic you want. So you can add them, multiply them, power them, anything. So yeah, I was able to give him the answer which he expected, like power it, shift it, like that.
Mhm.
So he was okay with that. He then came to the HR questions. So HR questions here, he asked me, like again, I had an internship going on. So he asked me if the internship I'm doing now gives me a full-time opportunity, what would you do? What would you consider? Will you leave Landmark and continue there, or you'll come to Landmark? So it's very important that you stick to the recruiter you're
True.
doing. So you should say that, yeah, I will leave there and come here. So that's how this thing went. And he gave me a scenario based question next. The scenario was if I were a project lead and there is a project going on, and if the previous step in the project has been halt and the previous team is not giving the project further to my team, then what would I do? Like, then I told him that I will ask the manager to step in. So he was like, manager is a very high level position, so you cannot approach him. What else will you do? Then I told him probably I will learn what they are doing and then try to help them.
Mhm.
Then he told, no, that doesn't work in IT field, that their skill set is different, your skill set is different, so you can't be involved in their team. So yeah, there wasn't, like I said, there is nothing right or wrong in the HR
You have to
interview, so
keep
you
trying.
just need to keep trying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how my interview for Landmark went as well. And the next day itself, we got our result, and yeah, I got into Landmark. Like three people in my college got into Landmark.
Okay, that's really great. Okay, so that was a very nice interview. I mean, many things like I also came to know, the first time like I'm interviewing from long time. So yes, so that is the one thing. Like you have to keep trying, and that's how like because sometimes many times we say I don't know. So some at some point that is also correct if the answer is like one line or something like that. But when some kind
Mhm.
of coding is there or some kind of scenario based question is there, then definitely they wanted us to try because if a aptitude question or any kind of question like suddenly asked to you, people will take time and they will try to think so that you cannot say I don't know. And I mean, something like that. So you have to keep trying for that. So the next question to you is, so there is two questions, and which that's how the interview will be bind up. So how online study for you helped you in your preparation, and what kind of tips and tricks you wanted to give it to a student, because there are many students who are struggling and who get depressed, demotivated, and
Yeah.
like how they should prepare. So basically, tips and tricks to the students. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I would say everything from your third semester, that is your data structures and algorithms. From data structures, it's very important. So start coding every day. One program a day is more than enough. It's never too late or never too early to start programming. So yeah, one problem a day, and start with your arrays, stacks, queues, and you can proceed further. Your data structures is very important. Then comes your in algorithms, I would really stress on your sorting algorithms, all your dynamic programming approaches. They are very important, and that is all about the coding part. And then what I would really suggest is that your resume plays a very vital role. So make sure you put jot down all your achievements and everything, be it your extracurricular activity achievement or anything. Just jot it down, and then there should not be any grammatical error in your resume, or it shouldn't be too crowded or something like that. And always make sure to read the job description you're applying to. So based on your job description, there are a few keywords. If there is an analyst role, data analyst role, make sure you include your machine learning projects. If there's a data engineer role, make sure you include your database projects. So based on the role, customize your resume. Please don't always put the same resume everywhere. That's how I did and how I used to get shortlisted too. And if it's very important to have a lot of projects. That's how the company judges that you have experience, you have hands-on experience in what you're talking about. So yeah, that would be my suggestion.
And how online study for you helped you in achieving your dreams?
Yeah, so the for so many interviews or all these preparations, I have been referring online study, and I have got how to say answers is from others' experiences. I have learned that from here. Say like how to be precise about your answers and what is expected and what should be known. I have learned everything for placements from here as well.
Good that. So we'll be keep
I
continuing because somewhere it is helping student. So yeah, definitely we'll be keep doing
definitely.
it. So
Yes.
thanks, Rida, for coming to our platform and guiding a student through.
Thank you so much.